Hello and welcome to Reunion Resort out here in Orlando, Florida, where today I've been out testing Benross's new RIP Speed 10 irons for 2015. There are three new irons in the range, and the RIP Speed are the ones aimed at the better player, so slightly sleeker profiles to look down on at address. Crucially, that should relate to a little bit less forgiveness than some of the other irons in the range, but importantly you should get that little bit more feel. Now, one of the first things you'll notice when you pick them up off the shelf is the new slot that they've put in behind the face, very much like you'll see in the TaylorMade range of irons. This should aid that little bit more ball speed across the areas of the face, so should make them hotter from the middle, but also crucially a little bit more forgiving from the periphery as well. Now, the first thing that I noticed actually when I put this behind the ball is how good the look was at address. I think one of the great things about Benross, they're producing golf clubs that they're not at an absolute premium price point, they're a little bit lower than that, but they look fantastic, and that's the real key to these. These are going to look great in your bag and behind the ball. Now, we've had access to the excellent GC2 launch monitor system out here to put these irons through their tests. So I've got the 5 and the 9 which I tested today, and I put those up against my own set of irons. So I carry the Ping S55 just because I wanted to see how the performance differed between the two. Crucially, I wanted to see how these fared in terms of distance, and the great news is for anyone who's interested in this set of irons that distance-wise they competed really well with the Ping S55. Certainly in the 5 iron, I think the speed slot really works well. I hit one right out of the middle that went sort of a whopping 210 yards, which for me in a 5 iron is a great yardage. I mean, I'd be a little bit concerned about how I was going to control that one that comes right out of the middle of the face while out on the golf course, but certainly on the range it's great to see that there is that level of performance in there. One other thing that I really liked about this is the slightly chunkier look that Benross have gone for in 2015 with these irons. Some people might not like that, and certainly the short irons, they are quite chunky, but me personally, I love that. I like the look of a slightly chunkier short iron. It means, for me, it feels like I can really commit to the shot and go at it quite aggressively, which is something that I really like. I think if I had one criticism of the new Benross irons, it would be that because the short irons are that little bit chunkier, when you put the long iron down, so because I was testing 9 and then going straight into 5, the 5 irons, it felt that little bit harder to hit. The truth is there's still a good amount of top line to look down on. There's plenty of club face to hit, so they're not unforgiving in any way. It's just a comparison between the short iron and the long iron. I felt that the comparison, maybe the long iron could have felt that little bit more forgiving just looking down at address. But having said that, these are a fantastic set of golf clubs by Benross. They really are. There's performance in there in terms of great feel, workability, but you do get added forgiveness built in, and the distance is certainly there. So for anyone looking to invest in the iron market this year, the Benross RIP Speed 10 certainly well worth adding to the test list.